Okay, we're live and we're live on the whole channel, so everyone be cool. I was just saying be cool, and they were like, "You're not cool," and I was like, "I think I'm the coolest."
Neither one of us said that you're not currently cool. We said you're the only one. Well, I said that you're the only one that's not always cool.
That's actually a really good distinction to make, and I'm glad you made it.
Which part?
It's not that I'm not cool; it's that sometimes I'm not cool. And you know what? I agree with that. Let's see, Irina. I can't read that far because I'm far away from my computer.
I'll
But
admit,
anyway,
I hated the
I
last
hate.
book. Yeah,
Yeah,
It's okay. I didn't like the last book either. It's fine.
I still loved reading it because I just was so fond of the characters. But it's a very valid opinion to have. Like,
it's one of those series that you're like, I like this enough to have a headcanon about it. Like, and this is before headcanon was a term, but like when you're like watching a movie back before you knew about fanfic, and you're like, I think it happened different in my head.
and honestly, I think that like them leaving, Geralt and Yennefer sort of like vague, and Avalon and the prophecy still being unfulfilled really set up the video games like so nicely. Like,
So, in a weird way, it does really help. And if the Ricola in my mouth is too like noisy or something, just please tell me. But that, yes, absolutely. So in a weird way, it helps with multimedia sources for exploring it. But yeah, as a book series in general, is a very strange ending, and it felt like almost like a hallucination. Like like when you take a lot of cold medicine, and you wake up at like 2 a.m. and you're really dizzy because your sinuses are really screwed up, and you're just like, wow, is this a dream or is this reality? Like, that's how I felt about this entire last book. It was very strange in that way. And I also, in a weird way, the deaths that happen in it also seem like distant. Everything just seems very distant. And it's because they switch, the perspective so much, and we're not focused on one, and also because of the time travel stuff and everything. And so it felt more like a imagining of one sad ending of the series versus an actual official ending.
Yeah, I think that's very
one of
true.
our commenters here, Sword of Destiny, one of my favorites too. It's well. Are we
here.
gonna rank all of the books as
Yep.
well? Well, okay.
So now that we've had enough time for the 9 people who are going to watch this to come here, books, for example, Hussite trilogy. I don't know. We might. He's a strong
What's
writer.
that?
Yeah,
I'm assuming
I
it's
haven't actually looked
military
into
fiction.
that one much, but it could be interesting.
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to rank the main series books. We're going to rank the short stories. We're going to, I think, probably give. There were some questions people asked beforehand. We did a post on this, so we'll take a look and answer those. We're going to also rank the sorceresses. I haven't decided if we're going to rank them by like who would be best for Geralt or not. I think that would be like a funny thing, like a bachelor for
But we
Geralt's the
already
Bachelor.
know.
Well, it's not
Wait,
Yennefer,
just
but
sorcerers,
besides Yennefer.
Mhm.
Just sorceresses, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who would you
I
add
was gonna
that's
put
not
them on a
sorceress
scale
on
of,
the-
like-
Essie from is that the one you were talking about? The Dead Bard?
So I was thinking of characters like her, but I was specifically thinking, not that I'm shipping them or anything. I don't even remember much. But remember the the lady from the one where they have like the street showdown, and she comes
Renfrey?
to yeah, Renfrey. There we go.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I think they would have been really cute, but oh well, what can you do? Destiny.
What can you do?
The
Like I
greater,
said,
lesser
not
evil.
shipping. I'm just saying there are other characters that we could potentially discuss.
Well, basically, I was like, we should do that one How I Met Your Mother joke of like the sorceresses on a scale from like hot to dangerous and where they lie on that. But I was like, that might be a little misogynistic. I don't, but we can still do that. That would be fun.
Everything about How I Met Your Mother is apparently misogynistic. I wouldn't know because I've never watched it, but that's what everybody always says.
The show got a little overly enamored with a character who's supposed to not be that likable because Neil Patrick Harris is insanely likable. So that's kind of what happened there.
Oh, is that why?
That's where a lot of it I think comes from, and then also the main character is kind of a pick me, but for men, and he's kind of terrible
I've heard that as
over
well.
time.
I had by the way, as a very, very small side note, I had a friend that asked me out multiple times in college. who like treated How I Met Your Mother like the Bible. And he wore, what was it? Well, you know when Barney wears suits every Thursday or something like that?
Oh God.
Friday, I don't know. It's a day of the week or something. He always wore a full three-piece suit at college on those days. And also for his archaeology class, he went dressed up as Indiana Jones every single day of the week that he went there.
Oh my God.
You know, there are some people in college who you should not really move beyond. Like, they should have to stay there and not move into the rest of society.
I think he's become a political person, but I think in a good way. Because I think he has good opinions, but I don't know anymore because I haven't spoken to him because his now wife didn't want me to speak with him anymore because she didn't like it.
Oh dear.
That makes sense. That means she's a very cool and chill person. Okay, let's go ahead and, because the other thing is we didn't really have enough time in our last video. We were all just kind of tapped out and tired to talk about our thoughts on the series overall, and that's another reason we're here. But I think we can kind of do that as we rank the books.
Yeah, that will be
well.
Inherently part of it, I think.
Okay, so let's switch over. Okay, part of it is we are sponsored by Tube Mogul. You will see their logo on screen. They are not. They are giving us lots of money, and it is totally normal. I don't know why my ad blocker isn't working right now. But I guess it just decided today's the day it's not going to work.
Nobody buys Tube Mobile or Tempur-Pedic or Citibank.
I don't understand why it's. Yeah, you can see it live. They keep popping in and out, and I don't know why. Because again, I have an ad blocker. I have two actually.
Now they have
your ranking site is just evil.
Yeah, now they have a anti-ad blocker.
The ad blocker arms race continues. Okay. So I went to the trouble of making little icons for them because otherwise I was never going to remember which one is called which one. So I don't think those are really large enough on screen though. So hold on.
Yeah, wait, hold on a second. Who's the lesser evil?
I think that's Renfrey.
That's Renfrey.
Ah!
I like the actress for that, so we're gonna pretend that's a normal thing.
Yeah, I made the full screen on my gigantic computer so that way I could see everything.
Yeah, well, part of it is just the formatting. This is a little weird. Okay, so we have S-A... Oh, you know what? I should have made these crisp, whatnot. Do you guys want to vamp for a second while I do that?
Sure.
Do.
So, Valerie, are you working on any art projects?
Nothing specific right now. I got like a new job in the works, kind of, so I'm have to do like a test for them. So that's mostly what I'm working on in my spare time. But right now,
guys, I've already failed. What are the other ones besides crisp and soggy?
Crisp, burnt.
There's lukewarm.
It's not crunchy.
Yeah, there's lukewarm.
And then what's the one in the middle? Normal?
No.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have to look at one of our last ranking videos.
Yeah, I will also look at one very quickly, and in a way that's cool and not hurried. Let's see. When was the last
By the way, as a side note, since you're looking, I'll let you look it up. Maria.
Oh, crunchy.
There you go.
Crisp, crunchy. Why did I put burnt?
Maria got such a kick out of the fact that I didn't know that it was a Hermione fanfiction for the last story that we read, which was what is it?
The Irresistible Urge to Fall for Your Enemy.
Yes. Which sounds like a fanfic name, so I don't know why I didn't. But because she was real like bumhurt about not realizing the Kill the Beast was about Beauty and the Beast.
That too. They were like, but we get in trouble for not knowing.
Your audio just popped off, and not in a good way.
I was gonna say I always pop off.
Oh my God.
Okay. Hey, viewer from Poland here. Crossroad of Ravens was published in English last year, which is a Witcher prequel by Sapkowski, for sure better than Season of Storms.
Okay.
So, I actually hadn't known. I'm gonna move the poop off screen because I don't like that. I actually hadn't known when I scheduled this live stream that Crossroad of Ravens was another short story collection from the world. I had just heard about Season of Storms. So ideally we would have done that before this, but we're so burnt out on the series that I think it's good to give it some time, and then we'll come back and do the third game and those two books, I think.
That would be pretty good. I just, you know what's funny? When we were in the middle of reading the books, I started the game again. And I've only ever played on my on console, not on computer. But because the computer runs it so much better at such a higher degree, I was just, or a higher degree, you know what I mean, better graphics and stuff. I was like, oh, I'm gonna try it on here, and plus it's easier for me to just, I already own it on here because my husband does, so I was just like, oh, play, and so I started playing it, and I was like, oh my god, I think I just like it unearthed memories over the years, and I was like, I think I've replayed this intro at least.
Have you ever finished the game?
No, never. I think I've replayed the intro at least 7 times now, and I'm so sick of it. And I like it. It was like PTSD. I was like, oh, I remember now. For some reason, I hate the like first little schlop that you have to go through to just get things done. And every time I hit it, I never go past it ever since my first experience. So I'm still stuck on it. I still haven't gotten past it.
It is I actually haven't played it, so I can't say. I thought the blocking system was kind of nice, but I've been so spoiled by Hades when it comes to fighting systems that like I don't know that I could play it. I was deep into Hades when I only got me to start it. Yeah, I could. I will. I'll see if it can load on my Steam Deck because that's how I play a lot of games nowadays.
I mean, look, if it loads Baldur's Gate 3, it's gonna load The Witcher.
Yeah, I mean, at some settings, and to be honest, I can always also just stream it on there. Okay, all right, so let's make sure. We wanted, these are the short stories, these are the sorceresses, these are the actual books. Okay, share this tab instead. Okay, so let's start with oh god, Mother
Earth and Spirit.
Just
we can leave this one at that.
Yeah,
like, and honestly, we should discuss the ranking system. Like, what is like I don't think any of these books are soggy. Like,
yeah, that's fair.
That's what I would say.
That's a good point.
Can we put
Season of Storms? We'll put in soggy because we haven't done that one, and that's its
real
fault, not ours.
You can't do that.
Wait, pause before we continue. Pause before we continue. Is there a way we can put Valor in the upper right corner so we can read them on the bottom and me on the side or something? I don't know. Like
yeah. Hold on,
it's kind of hard to see what's up there. Hold on a second. I also have to move my camera. It's because it's blocking.
I mean, we can do it so that we're all on the top or all on the bottom, but okay, yeah, that's probably a good idea. You're right. We'll save this.
I don't know.
Here.
It's kind of harder to see the material on the bottom.
Yeah, update or
save. I like these illustrations on the front, though. Is this what the books look like?
Sometimes the books have the most inconsistent covers. Okay, is this better?
That's actually not bad, especially if as we're looking down here and then you drag it up because then you can see everything on the top. That's not bad at all.
I'll just have to remember to keep things since there.
Okay, so
of course, Season of Storms is soggy from all the storms. That is a good point. Here, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this one then because nothing will be. We'll delete this because nothing's gonna be soggy.
Wait. So remind me that I don't have to remember. I'm not gonna say the tiers because I can't remember right off the top of my head. I'm just gonna say really good or not good.
Crispy, crunchy, lukewarm.
Something else.
Okay. So Season of Storms we won't put on there because we haven't done that one. Okay.
Okay. So what's our next one?
I was trying to put them in order, and then I kind of forgot what the orders were a little bit. So let's start with The Last Wish. That's the first short story collection, and I think that one is. I'm gonna say.
I don't know. It's hard to remember.
Here's what we're gonna do. I think we should start with what our favorite and least favorite are, and then we can rank the others accordingly. Because if this was an end of the year ranking, we would put pretty much all of these books except the last one up at Crispy.
Yes, exactly.
So this is within the Crispy tier, a subdivision.
Okay,
so I'm going to say that Blood of Elves, which is the second, Sword of Destiny is the second anthology.
Yes.
I'm going to make the case that should go up in Crispy. And here's why.
Yes.
I was already, I was going to say whatever the second anthology book was my favorite.
I think it works because cohesively the short stories all kind of play into the same theme of Destiny as parenthood, essentially. Mm-hmm. And also just it's so emotionally affecting when at the end Ciri comes out to hug Geralt, and like my little heart goes pitter patter. Like that, it hits intellectually and it hits emotionally.
Yeah, and in this one we also got Essie's short story with a dandelion, and
Yes.
Geralt, which was a great one, and Shard of Ice, which was a really good like
Oh
window into
yeah.
Geralt and Yennefer's relationship. A lot of this really sets up the character work. There's a couple in here that like feel out, despite how much I love Dudu Biebervelt as a character. Like that was kind of like a silly like
You know,
interlude in this one, but like I think
I'll
this one is solid.
I'll
Chris.
accept it. I'll accept it. It didn't go on for too long. You could have just skipped it if you wanted to. It's just that in the review we didn't have time to talk about it. You know what I mean?
And
Yeah.
Like I'll accept it. I think
Yeah,
that's
and it
fine.
was still interesting, and it was still engaging. So yeah, if anything, I would say both the anthology pieces are on the top for me. I think his short story format is preferable to me, especially the way he weaves together the short stories into an overall like theme, whether or not it's as strong as the one in Sword of Destiny or not. The longer other novel formats, ironically, despite the fact that there's like quote unquote more content, it almost seems like there's less content because we're not exploring the more interesting facets in the ways that are like and actually entertaining, as opposed to just like it almost seems like some of the novels, especially the last one, it almost felt like all the time that I was getting this exposition and stuff through all these things, it was almost more for the idea rather than for the experience. And I didn't like that.
In the short story
Yeah.
format, he's like, well, my voice just cracked, but like he's just so like sharp and like quick with his characterization, and it just works really well.
Which,
The Zero Claire again. I can't really. These are for far away. Hard agree. The way the stories in Sword were woven to weave together really works. I enjoy all the Witcher books, but I think the anthologies are the best. Yeah, it's just true, and it's weirdly like the anthologies get to skip the traveling parts of the books, which are sort of like short stories strung together in a way. And I think it just makes the world feel so expansive in a way that the novels sometimes don't.
which book was the book that included the story of the mermaid and Geralt helping between the
That's
mermaid?
Sword of Destiny.
Sort of Destiny.
Yeah, so that's absolutely. I just remember again. It's just been a hot minute, and honestly, my brain isn't the best. It's
Yeah,
because
I'll remind you as we go through because
Yeah,
we read
I
so
had
many
to
of
have a
them.
cheat
Yeah.
sheet for some of this stuff. Do we actually want to rank the short story? No, we already talked about them. Okay. We can rank them afterwards. I would say then for the bottom, the only one that would go at the bottom is the last one.
yeah,
Because
I would agree.
I think it's rushed. Again, I would put it in crisp if which one's crunchy and which one's crisp? Whichever, the second highest one if we were ranking these on our when we're ranking these on our normal one. But of the Witcher books, I think I'd put it at the bottom. I just don't think it holds together well.
God.
There's good material in that it's nice to see the trio back together. But I as an end to Geralt, it thematically makes sense. I just don't think it really works.
If we're just going by like top to bottom, which is the best and worst, I would agree with you. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
just
So
don't think
you know what's funny? Actually, this front cover that you have from this like rendition of the novel.
Where Ciri's like just a punk. She has like the coolest hair.
So, not that I love this idea. Honestly, it's because I think it mixes the genre too much. But how cool? Like, how much cooler would it have been is instead of going back to Geralt or any of them, like we should have.
Ciri
Okay,
goes into another world and goes all cyberpunk or whatever.
No, not exactly
Cyberpunk
that
77.
hardcore, but here, just take a moment and imagine that Geralt and Yennefer's story ended 3 books ago. And instead, we've now inherited through, and something else happened. I don't know what. But whatever it is, it concluded their story with Ciri. Or at the very least, it left it in a hypothetical realm that made everybody else content. And then we get off and we focus on Ciri. Because it really felt like it's not that I want that per se, but it really felt like he wanted that. And the way he kept focusing on her and really like going back to her and giving more and more of her coming of age story. So wouldn't it have been way better, like usage of time and space and energy just to focus on her and her exploration with her cool unicorn person? And maybe like in the video game, there's this part, and of course, reminder that I never actually played the whole video game, but there's this part where like Ciri, like you're playing as Geralt, blah blah blah. You go through the whole like video game, and then Ciri pops like at one point, via my experience of watching, Ciri comes out. You know that she's gone through worlds and worlds and worlds. So how cool would it have been to explore each of the worlds that she actually went through? I mean, that's changing the genre. That is not the same.
I think that as long as she's hot and not old looking, then it would be fine. And I think it's woke and awful if she is, like in the upcoming game. No, I actually do think that would be interesting. And I do think that part of Ciri's journey was cool. I don't know. I think he was interested in writing this war story. Like, I think he did write what he found interesting. Arena here says, can one of you guys read this? Because I just can't. It's far away.
I think the reason why I felt let down by Lady of the Lake is that it felt like a betrayal from the author to the reader, which is probably not intentional. I see what you mean, yes.
It's the hands as fate. It's how the Emperor is dealt with. There was too much buildup and then meh. Not that I mind a tragic ending, mind you. Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of the big things with the series is that there is a mismatch between what the reader expectation of the series is going to be because of, you know, like, I don't think the readers are making shit up. Like, I think there's a reasonable expectation of how these things go. And his interest lay in a little bit of a different direction.
In a subversion of, like, the classic hero's journey, and, like, it's not all about the main characters. It's, like, the war is bigger than this. I understand exactly where he's coming from, and I think he did a lot of it quite well. But I see how it didn't work in a lot of ways. And
we saw that in his anthologies, too. So, honestly, it's really not surprising that bled into his overall novel. And the way the stories come out, because you're right. What Val just said with the whole like subversion of stuff, that is what he was already doing in all the short stories. So it makes sense that he would do it with this. So I'm not mad about that. It does not feel like it fits the right way, nonetheless, and not in a way that feels like, oh yeah, you're pushing the envelope. More so in the way that's like there's an empty space and there's nothing filling it.
I honestly think that most of the novels could have worked so much better if he sort of stuck with a more chronological short story format and like just moved between scenes in that short story way, because he's so good at writing short stories. And in a lot of places he does sort of do that, and then we'll just get these sprawling like moments with characters that just, you know, keep going. I'm like, I don't know, this isn't your strong suit, man. Like, I think the ending even could have been a better like really enjoyable in like in a short story format.
Also, is it just me? But Dandelion's whole like thing where he gets caught up with his little weasel seems really out of character. Is that weird to me? I don't know. I feel like it feels out of character.
He's kind of a dumbass. But
I think it feels a little out of character to me. But I think it's because for some reason Sapkowski wanted everyone who went on that quest with them to die except for Geralt, and I don't know why. So he was like, I don't want Dandelion to die though, so he has to stay. Like, it was a little bit of a weird thing, but it's in character for Dandelion, but it feels like it's out of character with the kind of arc Sapkowski was trying to give Dandelion, where he already in there was like, no, I'm with you to the end. I'm a piece of shit.
That's what I mean.
I have some, I don't know. It was a little odd to me, but it's not crazy.
No.
Okay, let's see. Let's put The Last Wish then up at Crispy. And we'll just say that for right now, we can move it up
we can move it up after.
You guys can move it up? Okay. I found a lot of those original stories somewhat uneven, which we'll talk about more when we get there.
I'm fine with it in S or A tier, honestly. It's worse than Sword of Destiny, I think, but some people disagree with me.
Can you guys remind me real quick what happens in The Last Wish?
So we're actually going to go of
we'll go through the short stories and rank them on their own.
No, just overall. Like, can you remind me some of what happens?
It was the short stories. It's in the frame story. He's being healed and having sex with someone.
Yeah. Okay. You don't even have to say a single other thing. That was fine, but I would put that below the S.
Yeah.
I think A tier is fine.
I think A tier is good. Okay. Which is the next one, Val? Which is the second book?
Okay. Or the first book in the novel series, but yeah.
I really liked Blood of Elves. That's the one
I liked it a lot. I thought because this is the one where we get Yennefer with Ciri, and
we get Triss with Yennefer with Ciri and Geralt.
I liked that one. I'd say A.
Does Yennefer and Ciri? I think that might be in the next one. Actually,
it's in the end of this one.
Yeah,
no.
She's like,
You're right.
No. Triss is in the beginning, and then Yennefer
Yeah.
is at the end. And I
Yeah.
remember because the structure of it's real weird, where it ends
Yeah.
before the big action happens. And at the time, I was like, "Ooh, this is cool. I like this. We have this emotional moment." But it's not really borne out by the rest of the series. But I would put this up in Crunchy.
I'd put it in A. Or
Yeah, I
Yeah.
put it in S. Sorry,
Okay.
I needed to move it up because to me, this is where the main trio had the
The most.
yeah, they were the most here, and this is where you really get enamored with them
Fair
and
enough.
their relationships. And I just
I
enjoyed
would
it all
agree
the way
with that.
through.
I think
Yeah.
that's reasonable.
Yeah. Okay. Baptism of Fire?
Next we have Time of Contempt.
Time of Contempt is pretty
It's
good. This is the
weird
one
because
with
about 3/4
Yes.
of it I love so much. It's so
Yes.
good. The intrigue of the Isle of Thanedd thing and Ciri like not like feeling a little betrayed by Yennefer and all like and Vilgefortz, the introduction of Vilgefortz. It's also juicy. But then that last fourth with Ciri in the desert and like meeting the
just so
rats.
bad.
It's just like
It's
it's
so
hard
pointless.
to read and it and the unicorn.
So put it in A. Put it in A.
I would even put it in B, honestly. Well, you're right, because the first half
kinda
is
wanna
so
put it in
strong.
It is good. It is very
Yeah.
strong.
The problem with it is that let's put it in A just for that first half if nothing else. The problem with it is the first half promises something, a kind of story that the second half of the entire series will not deliver on.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it kind of weird. But yeah, you're right. There was the ball, there's 3 of them, it's cute, there's great, yeah, good stuff. Then we had Tower of
Baptism of
Fire. Okay, Baptism of Fire is mostly Geralt going around.
It's a travel
with his
montage with the
buddies.
boys, but you get introduced to. I know you guys had mixed feelings on this one. I love it to pieces. I think it was like really fun to slow down with Geralt and Regis and Dandelion on this little journey.
I would put this on S personally because I thought
Really,
that
because you didn't feel that way when we were doing the review.
it's because it's also because I didn't fully finish the book, remember?
No, that was Tower of Swallows.
Are we sure?
Yeah.
You're right. Wait, hold on a second. What happens in this book? Holy shit.
So
This is again, Geralt goes on his quest. He meets up with his buddies. Something happens with Ciri's plot line, I think.
Ciri,
we get-
this is when no, that's in Tower of Swallows also. This is mostly just from Geralt's POV, and it's most like just like through the
I gotta be
meeting
honest.
the new characters and the Hansa on their way looking for Ciri. I
Yeah,
understand.
I gotta be honest, I really like this book in retrospect. It also had a lot of the war themes that I thought were well
Yeah.
played out, and it's just
Yeah,
fun
a
to
really
hang
good
out with
window
them.
into the war. Yeah,
I still say
Yeah.
S or A.
Okay.
One of the
I'm
two.
fine with S or A. I think it would be like the bottom of S if it was maybe.
You know what? Honestly, what we should do is once we get through here, we should actually order them best to like forget the rankings and just do which one is between which one. Because I think the gradations between them are not severe enough for this tier system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's
actually,
just
let's
like
go.
an order.
If you guys are with that, I'll just literally we can do it like this,
Yeah,
where
that's
it'll all
fine.
just be in one, and we'll do Okay, so
That
hold
works.
on. I think that makes sense because this is not. All these are just so good. Okay, so we have Sword of Destiny, Blood of Elves, Baptism of Fire, The Last Wish, Lady of the Lake. Oh,
Well,
the
we're going to put Time of
then
Contempt
would
before
be-
Lady of the Lake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we would definitely. I would even
yeah,
put.
okay. I don't know. I'd almost put
After Baptism of Fire for sure.
I'd almost put Baptism of Fire before Blood of Elves, but no, I think they're both pretty good. They're like hand in hand.
Yeah, it's
Because-
tricky.
It's what kind of book do you like?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
it really is. If you're with the Hansa, then it's like this is actually a very good book for the Hansa. It's just those are 3 different characters who are not the main characters of the other works. Okay, then we have Tower of Swallows.
I know this one you guys had weird thoughts on when we first read it too, but I love this one so
Wait,
much.
this is the one where she's recovering with what's his
with
face in the cabin,
Visigoth,
right?
yeah.
I would say it would be like it's definitely above Lady of the Lake, and I would say, but it's got to be behind Time of Contempt, right?
Here's the thing. I think this book is good. I think it's very. I think what the author is doing is very skillful. but I did not really enjoy it. But at the same time, parts of it are very well written. All this stuff with that one mercenary who's very creepy, that kind of
Yeah, I
pseudo abuse
loved
stuff
that.
going on, I thought was quite nice.
And I don't
Visigotas is
know,
quite
Katie, if
nice.
you did you ever finish this one? But like the very last battle scene on the ice with
Yeah,
Siri
the
is
ice is
so
really like
cool.
interesting. So like honestly, like so where would we put it?
I That's tough. Because I'd probably put it.
I want to put it higher than Time of Contempt just because I feel like overall it's a little bit of like
Okay,
a
wait, remind
better
me.
like story. Like
I
Remind me
think
of them.
also the Time of Contempt is the one where they go is the first half is good and the last half
No,
is
no, that I
bad.
remember. It's The Last Wish. Remind me.
Last Wish is
that's
the
the
first
first
short story
short
collection.
stories. Yeah.
The very first one.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to put it after that because the thing is, those short stories, those first
Oh,
two books
really
really
iconic. Yeah.
form
And there were a
the
Yeah.
lot of
core of the
really good ones in
series.
that one. The one with Pavetta, where Geralt, enacts the law of surprises, and the one where he meets Yennefer for the first time. There are some really good short stories in there, despite not all of them being.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think this is a solid ranking. And again, they're just kind of gradations, except for this one, which is bad.
And again, I really like Time of Contempt. I thought it was a fun read until you got to that point. Like all of these are fun. I loved the part in Toussaint in Lady of the Lake. Like,
Oh yeah, that part was funny.
I
I
honestly
actually
like
even kind of like the stuff.
Mirrors.
I even kind of like the stuff with the Emperor. If you think of it
Yeah,
more in the
I do
short
too.
story format, that if
Yeah.
like this was a short story where Geralt had stumbled into this, I think that would work much better than it does as the main
As the
motivations
novel.
Like
of
you
the
see why,
villain.
despite all of its flaws, I still look back on every single book with such like fondness because
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
much of it I love.
And it's funny too because it's one of those series where you look back on it more fondly maybe than you did while reading it. Like
Well,
Spinning Silver is like that for me. I will go to bat and die for that book, but at the same time, if you guys remember, I was quite critical of it. Your brain kind of starts messing out the stuff you didn't like or was difficult to read and just remembers the things that it remembers the good times.
yeah.
Here we have one comment. Val, can you read this?
Yeah, Baptism of Fire introduced Regis, who is awesome, absolutely. Sadly, Milva loses a lot due to translation, which is very hard to achieve with what Sapkowski wrote, which I 100% agree.
That's interesting.
I know Milva was done a little dirty by the translation just because there's a certain sort of cadence to the way she talks that just doesn't really translate well.
Yes. One of the comments, I should have prepared the comments from
We got so many good
but
comments.
I totally
on
didn't
these
think about it.
videos. I love them
Yeah,
so much.
we got so many, but basically what it is she speaks in a very kind of woodsy Polish dialect that just does not translate into English, besides her sounding a little bit like a country bumpkin at times, but it's a completely different kind of thing. Another example is at the end, the teeth I mentioned, or the teeth, of the pitchfork that hits Geralt. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. Those aren't called that, but I guess in Polish it's the correct word. And we got a comment saying that, in Polish, the tines of a pitchfork are called teeth, so that makes sense. And that's one of those things where it's translation problems, and there's almost not a way to do it.
That's what actually gets in the way of a lot of my genuine personal feelings when I think about books like these, is that I'm like, okay, well, how much of it is the ability of the author versus how much of it is the ability of the translator? Because, for example, like I think I brought this up before, but like when I helped somebody whose native language wasn't English basically rewrite her sentences for her novel, like a lot of the things just didn't work the way she did it. For example, like there was like a paragraph, and in the paragraph the sequence of events didn't make sense, like in cause and effect, like it didn't make sense the way it happened. So I just reorganized the sentences and redid some of the subject verb agreement stuff, and it came out good. But so it's like, okay, so like obviously we have our Polish friends that are like, yeah, these books are like the bomb, so we can trust that, but we'll never experience fully what that means.
Unless
I mean,
we
I
dedicate to learning a really hard language.
Yeah, that too.
I mean, I think aspects of it can be, but aspects of it can't be. And sometimes you do just run into like a very specific kind of dialect. There's like all those jokes in Asian languages that have to do with the fact that the kanji, they're not called kanji in China, but you guys
Just
know what I'm
characters.
saying, look like certain other words which are like death, so like the number 7 becomes bad or something like that. Like those are things that you just need a translator's note to tell you, because otherwise you're not going to get it. And in
Yeah.
this case,
Or
you know,
or
mhm,
what is the difference? What is it again? It's a translator wait. It's the difference between translation versus,
transliterization.
I mean, that's not what I was, that was, I mean, maybe, but like the word I was
No,
looking
I
for
just made it up.
is, oh God, I maybe if I come up with it, I remember, but it's like, it's a job difference. It's a difference between
Like
translating.
transcribing versus translating,
It's
maybe.
it's it's a different word than I'm thinking of, but it doesn't matter. But you get the point. The point is that it's the difference between giving you what is word for word what they said versus what is the meaning
Transcribing.
behind the words. And that's like
Yeah.
what, like, the job is for
Hmm.
like political stuff and everything versus just the pure translation. So,
We have a comment that says, I read the series in Russian, which is similar enough to Polish, and that's exactly why I prefer it to English translation. Like,
ooh,
what are the differences you notice, if you don't mind
yeah.
me asking? Like, how do you feel like it changes things overall? Because I do imagine there are translational differences. Even just, the thing about it is that that's interpretation, I think. Translation
Oh,
or
Yeah.
interpretation.
translation versus interpretation. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I was literally sitting here bubbling inside because I was like,
Like, I know this
Katie,
word. I
this is
know
what
this
you
word.
were like wanting to study. Like, what is this?
Yeah, so I mean, it's something where it's something that someone who speaks Spanish and English, it's if you ever read Spanish, just the mouth feel is different. Everything flows. I could just be reading anything and it's like poetry. It's such a more elegant language for a more elegant time, to quote Ben Kenobi. But yeah, but at the same time, we still clearly loved the series, and I think that speaks somewhat to just
The power of it
not
overall.
yeah, not necessarily the universality of language, because
That's not it.
story mores change from culture to culture, but there is, I think, especially in like uh you know romantic languages, some crossover that's possible. um Okay, so this is, yeah, I think this is overall our
Yep,
ranking, and I
I'm happy
think,
with it.
yeah, I think it's true, and unfortunately, I think it comes down to what you're looking for in the series to a certain extent. Um,
Ooh, wait, let's look at this. What does this say? Can I read it?
yeah,
It
yeah.
says, oh, I'm an English to French translator, and the hardest thing for me is always syntax. Yeah. English
Ooh,
is basically all building blocks, and French is all about having certain rhythm in sentences. That's fascinating. Yeah,
interesting.
it's the same thing. English, that is a perfect description of English. As I teach grammar, it's always like, it always feels more like building blocks. And the thing that always sucks is that sometimes some pieces fit with other pieces. And it's like, I'm sorry, guys. I know English sucks. Like, we're just gonna have to deal with it. Like,
Oh
good
God,
luck.
English. Like, and the other thing is, there's the whole, if you were using English, the whole like French versus Germanic word origin actually matters to how things are. Or Spanish has like 5 tenses, so you could tell somebody an information about when something happened just through the tense that you can't necessarily in English. And that would be like a very kind of subtle thing. And usually Spanish translates pretty easily. Um, but also, yes, I meant romance language. Exactly what you said. Village dialect, city versus city speak is easier to relay. It adds to the atmosphere and also adds nuance to characters. Yeah, see, that could be. There is like a difference between that in English, right? But it would give her like a southern bumpkin coating, which is not exactly correct. That's
Yeah.
such a specific. This is way too close to me now.
You know what
That's
probably
such a
would have been the
specific
equivalent of it?
cultural
I
difference.
wonder. I wonder if the equivalent, because you've got like that's what's so interesting, right? So you've got like the southern stuff where you get the proper southern stuff, like where it's just like you're not getting the full proper enunciation of certain things, and you have some slang. But then you also have deep southern stuff. I'm talking about America, by the way. Deep southern stuff where you have like it's code switching. It's almost the
Mhm.
same as like you are it's a completely cultural shift. So when you code switch to that, then it becomes like for example, it's not exactly the same, but I have a lot of students that can't code switch, and when they speak to me, they can't speak in a typical conversational vernacular, and they can't usually definitely not speak in an academic tone, or they choose not to, one of the two. And when they speak in that, it's almost like a foreign language, and you're just like, oh my god, I understood you said a and that and is, but all these other terms. And so if that's what the difference is, then that would be really hard culturally to switch over to English. And then never mind you that English is in both, like, you know, the UK versus here, and then that slang would change there and here. So even if you translate it to English, it's still going to make a cultural, like, it's still not going to make the same effect depending on the cultural differences.
Yeah, and like we said, all, you know, three of us read these books. You know, we read it through the US American cultural lens.
Yeah.
So like when we read, you know, about elves in the forest, our brain goes immediately
Native
to,
American.
oh, this is a Native American coded thing that's happening. Even
Indigenous
though
people who are supposed to be close with nature and are slowly being pushed out by humans who are European. Wonder
And
what
currently
that,
being
I
potentially
wonder.
in
Yeah.
the future deported to countries they don't ever originate from.
And are put in programs. Like, there's a lot of coding there that I don't know. People in the comments have mentioned that from a European perspective. That's not the first thing that comes to mind.
Yeah.
So I trust
This is
them,
really
but
interesting.
it's
Yeah, like
it's
it's
interesting.
the first thing that our brains go to, just because of, you know, the cultural zeitgeist that we live in.
Interesting. Do you see
Hold on.
what?
Yeah. See, this is pretty much why The Witcher shouldn't have been adapted by Americans.
the
There's just a
TV show.
specific feel to how UE series class or sees class
Oh, class and education.
as linked to language versus the U.S.
Classism versus
Classism?
religion. Yeah.
I don't think I quite
Oh.
understand that, but that's because
Which that kind of well, that's kind of similar to how we view classism as far as education goes, although not necessarily.
Yeah. Hold on. Precisely, in English, Southern Bumpkin speak would immediately take me out of the book. Slavic language speak sounds more natural. Yeah, I mean, this is something where if you were doing interpretation, there should have been like an added sentence of like, she spoke in the way of, and then you would describe it to the reader so that they were informed when she speak that you felt that way. But that's, again, that's what we were talking about like translation versus interpretation. And I
Yeah.
imagine that Peter Kenny was just, or not Peter Kenny, whoever wrote it, something French.
Peter Kenny is the audiobook narrator, but I don't
Yeah.
remember who. Yeah, something French is the translator, I believe.
Yeah, like he probably would like, it was just a job probably.
Do you think that? Oh, fair enough. That just processed for me.
Oh,
But
here, hold on.
Fair enough. But do you think that because when she speaks in the novel, just as a side note, when she speaks in the novel, she kind of just seems like she has like a slight accent. The way I don't know if it's the way it's being read or the way it's written, because I listened only to the audiobook, so that's my limitation there. But like, do you think that it could have been accomplished through, say, older, like, for example, like what I'm thinking
Voice
of
acting?
is, what's that?
Like a voice acting difference where the audio narrator putting more
That is actually what I'm picturing. That's not what I was going to verbalize,
Yeah.
but yeah, that is what I'm picturing. But what I was thinking of is more like, so, you know, like, I don't know, like whenever we read a novel and somebody's trying to emulate the whole Irish country or whatever, like that, there's this very specific cadence to Irish country. I'm thinking Irish, like you don't speak English, you're deep in Ireland, and when you speak to an American, you come up with the way they speak is what I pictured her. Like, when you're saying this for this, that's what I'm picturing.
I mean, that's good. I just thought she was kind of bitchy. I'm gonna be real. Okay, so some following up. Irina says the difference is that a rich person in the U.S. can get away with not speaking very well in a way a person from a European
fair
country
enough.
can't. If that makes any sense.
That makes sense.
Yeah, that also has to do with like weird cross currents. Let's see.
What do you mean?
Because your accent is a lot more associated with what your social class is. I see.
Oh.
Okay. I can't read all these comments, guys. I'm sorry.
Well, then I guess you could say the Novo. I always say this wrong.
Nuevo rich.
Yes,
I mean, this does happen in that you are supposed to speak a certain way when you're of a nicer class, but the thing is, in America, there are just billionaires
We're like,
who are like country
Inherited
bumpkins.
money and they never had to. Yeah.
Yeah, and they
We're
actually
this-
use it like as an affectation. So
we're the. I just rewatched The Mummy 4 times for some reason. Not all in a row, obviously.
I was gonna say, like, Katie, are you okay?
No, it just because it was on like cable television and I kept getting parts of it. But anyway, the point is the scene in The Mummy where they're on the ship or the little like thing at the boat, and then they're like shh, and they're like, and he's like, Americans. I'm just like, okay, yeah.
I mean, again, there are distinctly upper versus lower class American accents, but even something like the president often, like, Bill Clinton became president because he has a nice Southern accent. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it actually is kind of a good thing in certain ways to have a more country accent. Again, in certain circumstances, it's kind of complicated. But okay, let's go to this one, which is share this tab instead. This is the short story. Damn it.
I wonder
Go
if
away.
I have a sudden like wondering. I wonder if that like slight like gentlemanly or woman like gentle lady southern like twang, that like southern thing. Is it? It just. I don't know. I have a lot of conflicting thoughts, and I don't really know. I'm not educated enough, so it's really frustrating to think about this. But like, I was just thinking to myself, is it because it's an appeal to the people? Because I was thinking of the whole like presidential like leadership, like, oh, I have an accent like the people. But then I'm thinking, oh, wait a second, but you don't. If it's like high end Southern, I guess. Or
I
whatever.
think what it is that in America, when you're trying to become president, you want to appeal to Southern voters, and the only way to do that is by having a Southern accent.
Well, that's not the only way to do it.
Bill
but
Clinton
yes.
is also just a very charming person in general. Like, and anyone who's ever met him would say, like, that man has charm, like, off the charts. Like,
well, it's also what I meant. Also, is that it's the only way to really defang the kind of cultural wokeism feel. This is sort of like how.
I see what you're saying.
It also, like, when someone is speaking to you in sort of like a warm Southern accent, you just sort of feel like comforted. Like, there's something very personal about it. Whereas, like, someone who talks like a politician and blah, 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 you're like, oh, this person isn't for me. Whereas a warm Southern accent, you're like, this person is talking to me personally. I feel liked.
Yeah.
Oh, it's
but at the same time, in certain
fallacy.
contexts, Southern people feel like they need to get rid of their accent. And then there's a whole, accents are inextricably linked with class and race and stuff in ways that are really interesting and too complicated. For me. Okay, all right. I got rid of the ads. We're here. Okay, so let me put these in order, I think. Why? Okay, here.
But yeah, that's like when we talk about that stuff, it always frustrates me. It's because it's specifically about language because I think Will knows, although I don't know if I ever really went into it with him. But like back when I was in college, I really wanted to go into linguistics. It's because that's way more interesting than any other aspect of life, other than environmentalism. That's cool, but like it's because it completely shapes your reality. Like when a professor finally like broke my brain one day, just like talking to me, and he was just like, yeah, I had this one student, they didn't have a word for this in their language, so they didn't perceive it. And I'm just like, that's so cool. Like, how amazing is that? It's psychology and language. That's super cool. But I am not educated in that realm, so.
Yeah, sorry, I'm reading a comment. Okay, let me switch over now. Okay, here we are.
Oh, approachability. That's true. That's what I was trying to think of. That's what I was trying to say with the whole appealing to people is that you are Anyway, go ahead.
Well, the other thing is accents change very quickly in terms of their social status. Like 20 years ago is not the same as now, which is not 40 years ago. Anyway, okay, Witcher. This is the first short story. By the way, everyone be very impressed that I found pictures of all of them. I did that for you guys. Okay, The Witcher is the one where he shows up in town. Let me get my cheat sheet.
This is the one. This is the Striga story. This is the one where in Vizima, where the king, I believe, is like, "Hey, we got this Striga problem. The Striga is in fact the daughter that he had with his sister. So it's a cursed baby. This is one of the most witchery like profession.
Yes, this is what the one that's very like, oh, we're taking an idea or a fairy tale and deconstructing it. Yeah. Let's see. Okay, I would say that I actually don't think this is a super good one. I'll be real with you guys.
Wait, which one is this one? The Witcher?
The Striga, yeah, the Striga one is
the Striga
Witcher.
one, essentially.
I think
Remind
it's pretty
me.
good. It's the first
Well,
one.
she
It's
just-
kind of iconic.
No, I know,
I would,
but
yeah.
Did she
What I
just
was
say
gonna-
it? Or am I,
Yeah,
did I hallucinate?
no. But what I was gonna, no, that's not what I'm getting at. That's not what I was about to say. God,
Okay, go ahead.
presuming much. What I was going to say is, remind me, how was the ending of that story?
She turns back into a girl. I think she's like 13 or
And it was
something.
just Geralt.
Yes.
I'd say a B or C.
I would
Currently.
For now, I'd stick it in maybe B, but like
I'd stick it in C. I gotta
Okay.
be honest. I think it's nice in that this is the shape of things to come, but I think as his stories go, it's
Yeah,
real
it's
weak.
it's okay.
I think it's not as good as some of his other ones. A grain of truth is the one with the bear guy who's the Beauty and Beast retelling.
I like that one. It's because that's the one where he fell in love with the I forget what the term is, the vampire.
You can see here a little bit if I scroll up. You can see that in the Gwent card, it's that scene of him scaring people off. with the
I
naked girl on
really
his
like
back.
that one. I would say S.
Really?
Or whatever the highest we have here.
okay,
I
Val.
specifically like the way it ends.
I don't think it's
Val.
S tier. I like it a lot. I think it's a good one. I would put it above The Witcher for sure. I'm kind of leaning B though, to be honest. There's so
Yeah.
many good
Why?
ones.
I'm B to me as well.
It's
I think
really
it's better
good.
than
It's like it's fun watching him talk to this, this guy. It's really interesting, but like at the end of the day, it's not like it doesn't stand out to me that much as a absolute favorite.
It's
yeah,
so interesting. Go ahead.
I think thematically it's a little bit messy. It's also in the beginning of the series where it's kind of like the world doesn't feel quite defined enough to bear the structure.
It doesn't, and that's why I like it.
I mean, that's fair. It is fair to like it more as a standalone than as part of the greater stories. But I think also it just doesn't have any great moments to me. Some of these
No,
have
you're
really
right.
great
Their
moments.
conversation is so fun. Like it's really interesting to hear these two people talk and how Geralt sort of like diplomatically gets his way through these situations. And the twist with, I believe she was a Bruxa, the woman.
Well,
Yes.
or it could have been a
Not a
Rosalka, I
Rosaka.
think.
She was a Bruxa, I think, and but the Bruxa. And the thing that I really liked though about this is, number one, it's one of his fairy tales inversions, so I appreciated that. And this other thing is there's like this ghostly quality to it, this abandonment of, and I think it's the message I like the most, how sad it is, because he wasn't part of humanity. He accepted something monstrous. He fell in love with it, and he had his own little like, because I don't think he loved her for what she really was. I think he loved the idea, the way it seemed. He did love her for what she was, but he also loved like a romanticized version of her. And I like that like kind of patheticness.
The ending is coming back to me.
Yeah,
Thematically, I did like that. I just think it's messy. I think
It's
it's,
a really-
it's less
it's a
packed.
really fun little fairy
%,
tale
messy. But there's
subversion.
something
I think
about
it's one of the better
Yeah.
done like fairy tale subversions. Just looking at it through that lens alone.
I also really like how it ends. It's horrible. It's horrible. And I feel like that ending in and of itself frames my expectation for the Witcher series really well. It's because it is not a happy ending, but not in the way that you would see. It is happy because there's love, but it's a horrible, like sort of twisted version of love, which isn't horrible, but it's horrible in this moment. And then also, I think this story has also been retold many a time. We've seen it in the show, the American show. We've seen it in the, it's not exactly the same. It's a little different, I think. Or actually, it might be exactly the same. I just can't recall. It was in an animated movie. And then it was, have you guys watched I'm presuming that Val has, but like, have you guys seen the animated movies?
Wait,
What?
of The Witcher?
Yes, there's like 2 or 3 of them.
No, I haven't.
Bruh,
They're Netflix
there's one of
ones,
them
I
that's
think.
really
Oh,
good.
the Netflix ones. Yeah, I've heard one of them is good. I was
She
just I was
suffered
so
through
broke.
season
I was
4
so
for us,
broken
yeah.
after what the Netflix did to The Witcher. I just like I don't know if I want to.
That's fair.
I think we can rearrange these later if we
I
want,
think
but
for
also
now,
it's. I think it's also our aggregate view, as you guys forced me once to take a book out of Horrible. You and Maria did, and I've never gotten over that. the Lesser Evil, which is the one with Renfrey, where there's a guy.
Yeah.
She got cursed. There's some wizards doing wizard shit and being like, "Don't women suck? It's their fault." And Geralt's like, "No."
I
But then
really
he's
do
also like,
love
"But she's
his
still gotta be put
conversation in the
down."
wizard tower with this guy.
Yes.
That was a very entertaining scene for me. Overall, though, I don't know if I would put it above Grain of Truth. Maybe a little bit above it. I don't. It's an iconic one. This is an iconic one.
It's
but,
iconic, but it's still kind of messy to me.
Mhm.
I would say for right now, let's put it in B.
I would agree.
Again, we can start to rearrange these as we get a better feeling for them. Because again, I actually think okay. So A Question of Price is the Ciri origin one.
I love this one. It's
You know what I mean with the
so
one with
good.
Pavetta and everything?
The one with Pavetta, where
That one's definitely the conversation between him and Queen Calanthe alone.
yeah, that puts it in S tier for me right now. I
would
put it
agree.
in S tier. Yeah,
I really
Okay.
like. I think it's the linchpin for the whole gosh darn series.
Oh gosh darn series. I would probably put it more in A, but I'll allow S.
we can bump it down if later, but it's
I think
such
it's
a good
fair.
one.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
What's the edge of the world?
Okay, the Edge
That's
of the
the
World
one
is a
with the
weird
first. That's the first. That's the one with the goat guy, and the first one with the elves.
Goat guy and the elves. I think a lot of the themes in it are really interesting, but I'm always so bored reading
B.
it for some reason.
Yeah,
B.
yeah.
I'd
You're
say
actually
B.
that's exactly how I feel about it. I like their conversation at the end, but the goat guy especially, I'm like, I'm real done with this. Let's stick it in B for now. For now,
Did it just? I was gonna say, did it just disappear into the ether?
it's having trouble because I zoomed so much into the page so people could see it.
Yeah.
Calanthe,
MILF of all
Mother.
time.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Especially.
Banff. No. Banff of all time. I love
Yes.
Calanthe. She was such a
She's
cool character.
such a good character.
Again, Sapowski doesn't write bad female characters. He's just a little scattershot with them at times. But he is and he also just likes talking about boobs a lot, which is not the worst crime. I hope.
honestly
He does it in
I
the
hope.
best way
Not that much.
possible.
Like,
As a
yeah,
woman, I support this.
Mm-hmm.
And I do think he's genuinely interested in them and their experiences and views.
I
them
think
as
Geralt's
people.
just a
the
boob
boobs?
man, and we.
I think he also just thinks it's fun to have hot women. I don't know. I don't know
he's
what to
right.
say about that
And
more
he's
It's
than
really
that.
right.
fun to have hot women.
All right, The Last Wish is the one where Yennefer
This is the
and
Yennefer
Geralt
origin
meet.
story. Listen, I love this one. It's a great subversion of love at first sight. I would put it in A, maybe.
I would agree.
I think yes. I don't love it in certain ways, and
But
that
Dandelion is. I think this is maybe the first one we meet Dandelion in. And
no, it's not. But it's because he's
or-
in Bound.
Yeah,
Edge of the
you're right.
World.
You're right. He is in Edge
But-
of the World.
But he does have the bit about how they're trying to find a fish at the beginning, and he's hungry. And
I
it's like the
freaking
funniest.
love that. Yeah.
I think it's their meeting could have been built in a different way, but I think this is one of his stories that feels very put together and more cohesive than like the first. So like A Question
There's
of
walls
Price
around
and The
this
Last
house.
Wish. Yeah, exactly. That's a really good way of putting it. More so than A Grain of Truth and The Witcher, where like there aren't walls. Pretty much anything could happen, but we're just focusing on this part.
Yeah.
And it helps, I think, a little bit. The Lesser Evil too, because those were the first ones he wrote, so it kind of makes sense. The Bounds of Reason is where they're on a dragon hunt, and I'm gonna say S.
I would say
I think
S.
it's a great one. Yeah.
That one is by far my all-time favorite one. Like almost, basically.
There's
It's
so much
such a
good stuff.
Fun little gang, and you get all the little
Yes.
politicking with all of the people here.
Great
to hunt the
twist.
dragon. You learn
There's
so much
good-
about the world. It's fantastic.
There's good like inversions too, with like the knights being like, we don't want to go out of business, and the door like it's a matter of economics. That's a deconstructing romance or not romance, fantasy tropes in a way that I think is really clever. Is to take like a real look at it from that perspective, the material conditions.
The only thing that would take it down at all for me is this is one of those weird ones where there was a weird like sexual violence kind of moment with Yennefer where I was just like,
it's so
like,
weird.
why
Oh, yeah,
is
the
this in here,
breast
and why is
thing, right?
and why is Dandelion like being weird about it? Like,
Yeah,
it
that
just
was
felt out of
weird.
character for like everything. It was one moment, but overall, a great one.
Hold on.
Which one?
Oh, this is funny. Hot women with personality. No wonder Will loves them. Yes. Also, the reveal of Geralt's old language curse actually managing Just Go Fuck Yourself always tickles me. Which one is
Oh
that?
yes, that was from the Last Wish.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, yes. Uh, respectfully writes about boobs. And then I just love what the universe does with dragons, to be honest, both the books and the video games. Yeah, it's also just fun. It really kind of works on those levels. Shard of Ice.
I love Shard
Which,
of Ice.
wait, remind me.
This
This
is the one with
Yennefer,
Yennefer,
where she breaks up with him and her sorcerer boyfriend in one go.
and I was so betrayed that she slept with him.
Yeah, it was like it's
I
so
gotta be
well
honest,
It's good.
and
I
it's
like it.
I would put it in A.
B.
I think so. I
Why
think
B?
A because it's really good, but it doesn't have the X factor of fun that these two
I
have.
just got so angry.
You're angry, but I think that
But
like
that's
That's the
That's
good
kind
part
of
of
the-
it. Yes, I get that. I don't. Fine. Well, also
you
this
loved
is.
this one, Katie. You.
I did. I know I did.
let's put it in A for now. We'll
We
put it
can
in
move
A
it. Yeah,
for
we
now.
can move it around.
I liked the exposition, or specifically the playfulness with which he talked about her feelings in this. And not playfulness, maybe, but it felt playful in the way that they even explored it. Because she's usually very laconic, and you don't get a lot of insight into what Yennefer's genuinely thinking. But
And here's the thing, like I am biased because I love Yennefer as a character so much, and I love this story for giving us a little window in it because she's just so deeply insecure and she wants to be loved so bad, but
Yeah.
she's afraid to ask for it. And this is such just like a pure, like condensed little story about
makes sense.
Like,
Yeah, and it makes sense with. It's also the time that Geralt's feelings to her, I feel, are most real in terms of how they come off to us, the readers.
Yes, I
especially
would
with
agree.
him being at the end with the sorcerer, like, dude, it sucks, and the sorcerer being like, I can't. I want to fight. Yeah, that ending was really nice.
wait,
It
question.
feels a little less action packed because it kind of is supposed to. He's in a city where he can't do his thing. So to speak.
You know what? To be frank, actually, you know what makes me already bump it up in my memory bank is the fact that the village or whatever, the town mayor person turns on him in the end because he's just like, oh, well, no, go. Like, I'm not going to support you.
I also really, really loved that little scene between Geralt and the sorcerer guy, because the sorcerer is just like, you and your tiny little magic, you and your little like.
Wait, what
I
was
thought
the name
like,
of the sorcerer?
I forget his name. I forget.
I
His
thought-
name.
Drusilla Vandebar.
I'm going to give you a little tidbit of embarrassment internally. It's gonna blow your minds. I think,
Uh-oh.
considering how wrong I was. I accidentally got Vilgefortz confused with this boyfriend.
No, that's actually that's
That makes
understandable.
sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, that
I feel
makes
like
sense.
I
he
thought-
might have had a V in his name, honestly.
Yeah, I think he did because I thought it was Vilgefortz. And so this whole time I was like, especially in the last book when you hear him in the audiobook and he's like, Yennefer. And I was just like, what happened to this man between his fight with Geralt?
That's really funny. No, that's
Well,
pretty
now
funny.
he's like being mean to Yennefer. I thought he loved her. And I just I got really confused. Okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Okay, I'm gonna cut out.
Istrid was his name.
I'm gonna
Istrid.
cut out the
Istrid.
bottom row because
That's not a V.
we're again not gonna pick any of them. Okay, A Little Sacrifice is the one with
I
the
love A
mermaid
Little Sacrifice.
and
Yes, that's
Oh, the
Yeah.
mermaid?
I think that's
I think
S
it's a
tier for me.
banger.
S.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Love
It's
that.
a banger.
Tell him, do I I love it when the audiobook narrator does the mermaid voice anytime.
Geralt
It's the best.
singing, it was so funny when
Yeah, that wasn't
when-
I think
good.
I think the stuff with Little Flute or whatever her name is in Geralt could have been
Little
eased in
Eye.
a little bit more.
Little eye, not little
Little
flute.
eye.
She doesn't have a penis.
Whatever. Well, first of all, she could. But second of all, I think it's something where it also builds really well with the rest of the novel, more so than maybe the others do. Like it that part of it comes a little fast, but it's important to the message of the novel as a whole, and I really appreciate that.
And it's
Also-
so fun watching. Yeah, Istrid, like yeah. But it's so fun watching Geralt and Dandelion just have a little bitch fight, like a little like best friends,
Mhm.
in this absolute bitch fight. It's hilarious. And the end was so sad because it ended, I believe, like after like,
Yeah, she dies.
and I think the last line had something to do with like Dandelion was like, playing like a little song about Geralt and Essie, and like a werewolf walked by and he stopped to listen because it was Dandelion playing, and it was just
So-
like,
Can we all just ship Essie besides Yennefer if we're gonna do a different girl?
I mean,
Essie did not
she's
seem like she
young,
suited him,
like-
but Essie seemed
should have-
like she was comfortable.
we should have we should have had some kind of game where we try to match everybody up with a different character who we think they'd be good with.
Actually, that would be fun.
Because I'm sorry, my man Kahir Kohana, whatever his name was, he needed to have a girlfriend. Like, he deserved a girlfriend.
Are you kidding
You know
me?
what I mean?
Absolutely. And
he was dating Ciri in his head the whole time.
I know, but he could have gotten a real girlfriend. It would have been real nice. It would have been like an Eomir. No, not Eomir. Fair. God damn it.
why not Milva?
It's Faramir and Eowyn is the word I was
What
thinking.
about Milva and him together?
Milva sucks. I don't like her. Anyway,
Stop.
she does. She's so boring and bitchy.
I don't-
The Eternal Flame. That's the one with Ida or Dudu, I think is her name.
Doo-doo, yeah.
The card, you can't see the art, but it's actually really cool. I think that actually kind of goes in A tier.
I
at
think the Doo-doo
at a
score was
minimum.
really good. Even though we didn't really talk about it in our review, it's a real good one.
Yeah, I mean
It
that's the
is.
thing about it is it's fun. I think it's maybe a little long for my taste, but it's solid. It's solid and it does what it wants. We
Well,
forgot
not
the part
just
of Little
that.
Sacrifice where they're also talking about like the inversion of the man, where she's like, no, he has to become a merman with me. I'm not going to
Yeah.
go get legs. That's so gross. Which is a fun inversion.
It is. No, but with the Eternal Flame real quick too, also just wasn't that the story that we also got like a lot of economics in the world?
Yes.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So that took a lot of like, so from a perspective as a writer, that took a lot of freaking work, I'm sure, just to come up with the ideas and what you wanted to say about it, unless he's just like, educated in that way and it comes very easily to him. But even
think it
then,
was, like-
hard work in the education department. So nonetheless, yeah, I mean, I agree with you on the A. I think on skill level, I don't know. I'd have to reread it.
I think it was a really good one. I don't want to put it in S tier, but it's so good. It's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's very good. It's only not S tier because it's missing like the characters that are the best.
Yeah.
Okay, Sword of Destiny is when Ciri and him meet
In
finally
the Brokilon Forest.
in the It's Brokilon. The way he pronounces it in the audiobook
It's
is so nice.
so good.
Brokilon.
It's so good.
Brokilon. Brokilon.
It's just,
I'd say A or B.
Okay, what
S tier to
happens-
me?
Not much. Right?
I'm trying to remember what happens at the
I'll
end.
allow A tier, but like Geralt leaves and
I'll
Ciri's
allow
calling after him.
A tier.
like,
Oh,
Geralt,
okay,
yeah.
that breaks my heart a little bit. Let's put it in
And-
A tier for now. But because mostly I just don't remember a lot about it. It's really
that's my
nice that they're
problem.
together.
It's sort of
but
like
I just
so Geralt is on his way to see
The head
Anthe,
druid
Yeah.
person.
Islaine or something, or yeah, the head druid person, and he runs into a little girl. It's kind of a little
Or
Red
not
Riding
druid,
Hood, very druids or dryads, perhaps.
Dryad.
the dryad.
Dryad.
Part of it is I just don't find the dryads that interesting. I find them a little bit like, okay, that happened.
But this
I
is
just
where we
don't-
learn that, so Ciri was supposed to turn into one of the dryads because you can't just go in and out of Brokilon Forest. So
She would've been
Ciri,
great as a dryad.
Drinks little dryad juice, but it doesn't let her because of her destiny with Geralt. And this is where Geralt realizes who she is, and then he gets her safely out of the forest, and then he leaves her with Mousak or something. I believe it was Mousak, and he leaves. And
correct.
she's like, Geralt, no, you're my destiny, and he's gone.
He's like, bye,
He's gone.
bitch. Maybe not. And then he comes back in something more.
This has
okay.
got to be S tier.
Right? Okay, thank you. The S tier. This is
So
the
this
one
is-
also with his mom and
Yes, so it starts with Geralt having a huge, crazy injury. He's in and out of consciousness. He's like being healed. We meet Geralt's mom very briefly because she is, I believe, healing him. And
Mhm.
there's this like really like just tense kind of exchange. You learn more about Geralt's past before he became a Witcher, and then he shows up at this, I believe, farm after the Battle of Sodden, and is this the part where he also goes up on the hill at the Battle of Sodden and reads the names of the dead
He has
people?
like a
And
weird
death
vision.
herself kind
Yeah.
of comes up behind him, and
Yeah.
she
No.
like,
It's a banger. It's
and
a
then he
banger.
comes down and like he like invokes the law of surprise again, almost as a joke to these farmers who are like riding him home, and then they're like, and his wife runs out and is like, the kids are gonna be so happy, like, you know, and like she says something to imply that there's a girl there or another one, and he's like, what do you mean? And she's like, a little girl who like survived the like the battle or the like of Sintra or whatever is here, and we've been taking care of her. And this guy is like, oh no, the law of surprise worked. And then Siri runs out. They have this sweet hug, and he like promises that like, I'm not gonna leave you again. It made me sob my eyes out every time I read it.
It's one of the more emotionally complex ones, and that explores Geralt and what he thinks and what he wants, and that really helps. On top of it just being like the two of them have that moment, and it puts such a perfect capstone on the book. Again, this is why Blood of Elves is probably I feel like probably the best one, because it's thematically very cohesive through these short stories. They're a mosaic more than little windows into time.
Yeah, and this is where we spend the most time with like Yennefer, Ciri, Geralt, like mostly together, like in fragments. But
it's what builds the passion for them to even be together going forward.
He does just such a good job of setting up these character relationships in a way that makes us want to root for them so bad. Or like it's beautiful.
Wait, let me just. The real arc was becoming a girl dad all along.
Yes.
I mean, he joins Joel and Booker from thing.
It's true.
There was a period of time where games were all just about dads and their childs, because a bunch of video game developers became 40.
Yeah,
all of a sudden those were relevant themes.
40.
But yeah, no. Actually, that was like the best ever. Actually. Funnily enough, a lot of those specific relationships influenced what I wanted to do, but I never ended up doing with like any characters or anything I wanted to create. Girl, dad, male, wife, to be precise. Oh. Jesus. Come on.
Rude. I was gonna say, I think it's a little gender essentialist. Yeah, I think this is true. I'd be interested to see how the other short stories match up to these. Just because I'm curious about where he feels like he wants to what he wants to explore that he didn't in the short stories already, or if they're just retreads. So I am actually really curious to reread those when we eventually get there. But yeah, so those are cool. That's it for now.
I'm happy with our.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I think it's everything I already expected you guys to agree. Like, I already knew what you guys were gonna like, for the most part, from what my memory could hold up with. This is exactly how it played out in my mind. So this is unsurprising, and the only thing is that the thing
what's interesting is the first three are like three of the weaker ones outside of A Grain of Truth, which has.
Well, that makes sense. It's the beginning.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. And then it's funny because out of the top 8, only one isn't. Actually, all of these have main characters. They either have Dandelion in it, or it's Ciri, or it's a Yennefer story.
Yeah, which makes sense because it's the hardest.
The Question of Price is the only one from Last Wish that's in S or A.
Oh, you're right. And again, they're not bad.
Mm-hmm. Again, like this is not like,
Yes.
If we were ranking it against other books that we've read, they would all be bumped up higher. But
so it is what it is. Okay, that was cool. Let's move back here. I made a. Do we want to look? Let's look at the post on YouTube that we put up in anticipation of this. And we can look at if there's any questions there we want to answer.
Okay.
Let me find it on here.
And then I'm going to have to, in about the next 15 minutes, I'm going to have to get off.
Okay, me and Val, then we'll rank the sorceresses and be probably back. Let's see. We had 4 comments. Ranking your favorite relationships and dynamics from the whole series. Examples of the author use integrates theme, or examples of what normal structure looks like and what the author's structure looks like. Yeah, that would be kind of a little beyond this. And a modern example I can think of seems to be, only the last book has world-changing themes, which is kind of interesting, yeah. And then see if that YouTuber Vera is around to chime in with her insights.
She's too big for us now. When we started, she only had like 5K like subscribers, and now
Wait, who are we
huge.
Talking about?
The another woman who really likes The Witcher, a Polish woman who has talked
She's-
about it at length.
No,
Yeah.
she's also too like academic for our little outfit. Let's see. So the one that was I was thinking we should do favorite characters who aren't in like the main cast, because obviously it's like, so this, you can't pick Regis and you can't pick Dandelion.
Why
Let me put it
not?
like that. Because you guys are both
Why
going to pick Regis and Dandelion.
I would pick Regis.
You
Yeah, I
can't
know.
do the core three, and you can't do Regis or Dandelion.
Well,
Mostly because
I'm
we
allowed
all
to
know it's
mention
Regis,
him.
guys. Yeah, it's Regis, and then
He's
we're
so
asking
good.
Val specifically for her second runner-up. You would think me having come up with this question, I would have thought about it beforehand, but you would be wrong. Let's see. Who do I like among the secondary cast? Trying to think. I feel like one of the short stories had someone that I thought was unusually fun.
I know who I like. Yarp
Okay.
and Zegrin.
Yarp and
Yeah,
Zegrin's
Yarp and
great.
Zegrin's fun.
So
I
is
like-
Zoltan.
Any
cool.
any of the dwarves, the two dwarf dudes,
And
that we-
Percival as well. He was like a gnome, I think. Great. Or a halfling.
Yeah, you're right. Those were fun characters. I like Triss. I know other people don't. I like her. I can
Triss is
fix her.
fine.
She
I don't
has
like-
some.
I
She has-
enjoy watching her, but I hate her.
No, she has self-confidence issues. She'd be a better person
No,
and
she has
morally right.
self-confidence issues.
That's why I raped
She
my
needs a
best
little
friend's.
help.
Well, okay, I can fix her. Let's see.
She literally did a sexual assault on Geralt.
Yeah, I can fix her. Let's see who else.
I also like the old dude that helps Siri.
Oh, yep, you're right. Yeah, he is a great.
Visigoda.
Visigoda is a
Great one.
great character.
What?
Uh,
Nobody likes Forrest Gramps?
Did you see that became the cold open?
You don't like Forrest Gramps?
You saw that became the cold open with the episode, right?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, you
it's
dancing
you
with your
and
cat,
Mochi.
well.
What we're talking about.
Because you
And we're
didn't
like,
have your
Katie,
headphones
please.
on. So you were just dancing with your cat while like Will and I
Oh,
were
you guys
talking
talk about really seriously dark concepts.
Yeah, and it even goes and I cut it down to make it more appropriate too. Is the funny part, but you know who I also
Calanthe, absolutely. Thank you.
oh Calanthe.
My queen.
You know what though? I'm gonna go with the sleeper pick, Eglanime, whatever her name was.
Who the fuck is
Eagle
that?
fly?
Angulem?
Angulem.
Oh,
Yes, she was so
Eagle
much fun,
fly?
and she was like a
great.
spunky kid in a way that was different than Ciri, which I liked. I like how
Yeah.
pumped she was to get in with Geralt's gang. She was like, "Yeah, we got a gang now, boss." I just thought that was
She
great.
was so
I
funny,
really
like
liked
just
that.
like a snorting fist tech, and Geralt's like, "Don't do that; it's bad for you." And she's like, "Fuck you, uncle," or whatever.
yeah, I know. I love it.
Just so charming.
Yeah, no, that was great. That was a lot of fun. No, so.
The true sleeper pick for me is the cook in the last book that allows them to come into the kitchen and eat with them. Like, what a nice character. He cooks for them. We never get him, by the way. He
Oh,
never
yeah,
actually.
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
no,
we
in
never
Tucson.
get him. No, he's just briefly alluded to how it's like they weren't really sure. He wasn't, or something like that, the omniscient narration. It's like nobody was really sure why the cook allowed them into the kitchen to eat breakfast every morning, but he seemed to really like them, and so he cooked them beautiful meals every morning. And I'm just like, hell yeah.
It's funny. There's so many small characters who show up for like a liner, like the knight who's overzealous in Tucson. I love that guy. He's great. He's so
yeah.
funny.
He's
And
so
like
great.
he doesn't really have a point. Let's see.
The fish. The fish they eat. Great character.
Irina says,
Kahir.
I had a soft spot for Kahir. Zero survival skills, complete idiot would die for him. You know, by the end, I liked him. By the end, I liked him.
do
It took
like
a
that
while
they
to get there.
subverted the fact, like, because it's so implied that he did an assault on Siri early on, and when you find out that he didn't, like, he's a fun character. Shout out Dijkstra and Philippa Eilhart. I do enjoy them.
Shout out Dijkstra and Philippa.
Shout out the entire Sorceress Lodges. I find their
whole-
dynamics
all
overall
the
so
sorceresses
funny.
are so funny.
My
Girl Nenica, Mother Nenica, also Conduiramirs and
Solid.
Nimue. I'm not gonna lie, I loved them. I thought that they were so fun.
The rats, I thought they were great. It was such a
Shut up.
the way
Nope.
they-
We all disagree with that. The rats were creepy and weird, and I hated them.
They're the worst. I did like, again, the mercenary guy in Napoleon, or no, Bonaparte.
I did
What's
too.
his name?
Bonaparte, yeah.
He's an awful guy, but he's a good
I'm
villain.
saying Bonaparte now.
Great
Yeah,
villain.
Bonaparte. Bonhart. Yeah, it's just, and I mean, I think
I
that's the thing with
disliked-
the series is, like, as messy as it is, the character work is just good.
But you know what I really disliked is how Bonart in the last book was like,
Yeah.
SAE, and he's
Yeah.
like, oh, I want to.
But like
Ugh.
Bonaparte in like Tower of Swallows was so
Complicated.
Creepy and weird.
By comparison, like I didn't like the simplification of him just
I
wanting to
agree.
dominate in that moment. I'm like,
Completely.
dude, like he was so much more mysterious and interesting and complicated in that previous book. So to have him just be like, oh, by the way, I'm just super evil and want to just like SAU. It's like, no, let's like
Well, and
back
again,
up.
because he was, it was boring. It was boring,
Yeah.
and it was overly, it was less complex than the kind of abuse he was
Oh,
doing
wait.
before, which was very intimate, but not in a sexual sense. What? And for Will, can't forget Thea and Vea are two Zurikanian
Zircanian.
muscle mummies.
Zircanian.
That's
Oh
more.
yeah, that was from Three Jackdaws during.
That's more Katie's. That's more Katie's.
that is
speech.
me.
She's more into
That's
the
more
muscle
me.
mummies.
I
I'm
like
more
that.
into the
I like muscle
bitchy,
mummies.
hot booby girls. Yeah, it's anyway. Okay, I had put the sorcerers together in a whatever list, but we don't actually have to rank them any specific way, especially because I think Katie has to go soon.
That's fine.
But
Yeah.
just
do you want-
there's a lot of good Gwent art of
There's-
them for those who
yeah.
are wondering.
Well,
And
then
it's-
just bring it up. Just show the art at least, or whatever,
Yeah, there's a lot of
Wait,
really good
I actually
Gwent
want to see
art.
what art you got. Hold on a second.
You're not going to be able to see it at this.
No,
game.
it's actually humongous on my screen. Funnily
Oh,
enough,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're
I-
really nice.
I love the Lodge of or just sorceresses in general so much. The way they're handled in the series is so fun. Just like I've said a million times, I love that all of these hot women started as like ugly, unwanted girls, and they have the bitchy energy to go with it. And they're just like so catty to each other. They're like not unintelligent, obviously. They're like doing crazy things, but like
It's also
I
some of his best
adore them.
comedy work is
It is.
describing how they're looking. Or one of them was like, oh, she was going to this those northern slutty ones, but she was going to keep it together. Oh my god, they were all naked. That's
They were-
weird.
yeah.
Like there's just some really
Frigilla
funny.
and Asira, I think. Yeah.
Well-
yeah, there's just some moments with them that are just really good comedy writing.
well, it's nuanced. That's what's the best part. Is that typically when you see female on female catty fight, like sometimes in like movies and TV shows, the media that most people consume, like it's pretty threadbare as far as the exploration on where it comes from and stuff. It's usually envy or it's like some type of classist thing. Whereas in this, it's a lot of stuff and they all come from similar origins, so it's really it's all about like, I don't like your style, I don't like the way you're holding yourself, but in the like you said, in the funniest way. So it's like I just, it's more nuanced. The details to
out of
why
S
they're being
tier,
the way they
right?
are more unique.
I was
Chris
gonna
cannot
sort.
be an S tier.
I was gonna sort them, but the thing is, those are the only two I remember by name. All the others I had a cheat.
Philippa
sheet
Okay,
for.
well,
Ironheart
I'll
is
just say this
S
right
tier.
now. Not Francesca. What's the elf chick?
Philippa is the main boss lady, and she was cool.
I think Francesca Findabar is the hottest elf in the world or something. Like
Yeah, okay, so I was right, Francesca.
Was she
Sorry,
the
just
elf
her
one?
moving.
I liked her because she.
No, she's in C
What?
tier.
Why?
She put Yennefer in her. Didn't she put Yennefer in her boobs?
Wait, what?
Was it somebody else?
What are you talking about?
Like when they compacted her.
Maybe?
Oh yes.
I think you're right.
Oh,
Actually.
I don't think it was her boobs, but yes, she compacted her.
No,
Yeah,
it
But
was
I
her
like
boobs. She took it out of the crest of her chest and then put the thing there and did the whole ritual. And then she popped up and she's like, "You've been keeping me?" And that was actually, so funnily enough, that scene of Yennefer, I know this is going to sound weird, but the pure horror of it and the pain of it and her sitting in that fountain cooling off and peeing herself because it's the first time she's been in physical form to relieve herself is so visceral. I love that scene. And I still think Francesca is a B or C. She's a bit of a dick.
I like her. She does a lot of like interesting stuff. We're gonna put her in B.
Fine. You notice how I'm still
We need to move Triss down, or at least at the after Philippa.
No, you're right. Okay, there we go.
No,
and so
opposite,
the other
opposite.
Fine. But Triss just wants, she's just trying to do her best, okay?
No, she's just trying to sleep with Geralt.
Which is
as sinister ways.
Which is the one that is the Nilfgaardian one? Because I thought she was funny.
Wasn't she?
Ida, and then there's Fringilla. Oh, wait, no, not Ida. Asira and Fringilla.
I liked Margarita. Because every time she talked, she was sassy.
Was she? Okay, I like sassy. Margarita,
she was the one
and also, wasn't she one of the
Yennefer
ones that was
likes
in the
Margarita,
spa with Ciri?
Yes. She was in the
Yeah,
okay.
so I
She
like
can-
her.
She can move up there. Hold on, I gotta go look through my cheat sheet because again, I have a cheat sheet.
Isn't Fringilla the
Sheila
one that
there-
with Geralt?
Yes.
She's a D.
Which one?
Fringilla.
Fringilla.
What did she do with Geralt?
Everything.
Oh, she was the one in Toussaint.
Yes, she's
Actually, she's probably more like honestly, she's more like a B, above Francesca.
No,
in my opinion.
I agree. She was too floppy and French. She was just kind of moist. Like there's
Oh,
something
yeah.
about her
No,
that
I
is just
agree.
like,
Ooh, don't say that.
like she's funny, but I also think there's a funny thing where at one point she mentions she can't blush anymore because she kept getting embarrassed, and then every other point after that, everybody the narrative notices that she's really pale all the time. Like it kind of went out. Like she kind of overdid it a little bit. Let me see. Yeah. Okay. So
Who's
looking,
Ida Emion Ep?
I'm trying to remember. Ida.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Who's left? Kira Metz is a former advisor to King Foltest.
Is bad. Is C at best.
See, we're gonna leave her in D then. Let's see. Then we have we need Sheila de Tancarval.
Is she the one who everyone calls a nymphomaniac? Is that her?
I don't remember.
Oh, the
She's
one
not
where
on my
they're- yeah.
cheat sheet list.
She's an
She automatically
nymphomaniac.
S tier.
Is she okay? All right, we'll put her up in
we
A.
can put her in. We can put her in like a C or B.
B.
She
Let's put her in
actually
B.
I
isn't
love that
difficult.
image too. I mean, look at her.
It's
And also, like, I liked every time her name coming up when it was like de Tankerville, and I was
De
like, oh
Tankerville.
yeah, I can remember
I
that.
love
Yeah.
the names. Of
They have
those
good
sorcerers.
names.
They're so good.
Margarita Lo Antille. I actually just really like as a name. Just Marigold's great as a name. Let's see. Asir Vara Nahid is a Nilfgaardian member. If she's the viewpoint character,
She's
I liked
fun.
her.
Yeah.
Let's have her in B. And then Ida
I'm
Shian
trying to
are
remember.
an elven sage. That's unhelpful. She in this one, a cat is glaring. She's looking at a cat and glaring, and that automatically makes me think she should be in D tier.
Okay, that's fine.
And
That
then
makes me happy.
Sabrina Glevis is a powerful mage
Sabrina
known for her
helpful?
role in the Battle of Brenna. I don't remember her, so let's just put her in C.
Yeah.
Okay.
Society
this is
of
a really good
Wow,
list.
Yennefer is
Yeah.
first and foremost. Who
No,
would have
no,
guessed?
no. Put Philippa back in S. Put Triss back in A.
Oops! I didn't mean to do that.
You're lucky I'm letting you put Triss in A, quite frankly.
Look, this is like one of those things where the author kind of overplayed his hand at first and then kind of reeled the character
Look,
back.
I'll be frank. Triss consistently winds up being in the lowest tier possible for me, honestly.
Me too.
Because
she should be lower.
she's
Do you
a
guys not
little
remember how she mothered?
irritated.
No, she
did not
mothered
mother.
Ciri a lot.
She sistered her. She sistered her, and then
She
she
sistered her.
was an absolute bitch.
She had
Well,
divided
then she
loyalty.
constant-
She was making tough decisions.
Triss,
And everybody else wasn't.
listen. Here's the thing. Part of what makes Triss shit tier for me is that one, the first time she used like a memory potion on Geralt to sleep with him in the books. Bad shit friend move. And then she does it again in The Witcher 2. She does the exact same thing, and then she's like, "Oh no, he doesn't love me.
in the
I'm
game?
so sad." She does it again, and then the minute he remembers, he leaves her, and she's like, "Oh no, Geralt doesn't love me." Like, you think you manipulated him, you crazy.
I can't speak to how she is in the games besides being hot. So okay, I think I'll allow A. She is very pathetic. So
now, if we put power base, or no, actually, if we were ranking on political power and ability to manipulate others, Francesca would definitely be like higher. Yeah.
That person over there.
See, I like her because she's intelligent. She has things going on. She has like plans within plans. Yeah, all right, fine. We'll put Trish down at B.
Oh, did you see the smile on her? Did you see the vindication on her face?
You know what the thing is? Again, she best exemplifies the man at conflict with his own heart, at war with his own heart in the series, and I think that's a really valuable thing.
She is your conflict with your heart.
No, it's not my heart. Okay, so the Fringilla I actually did find funny as a character, but she's not
Me too.
likable. She's better as an opportunity for Okay, all right, I think that's good. Yeah. So I put all that work into there, so it now paid off.
I stayed long enough for that.
Thank you, Katie. We appreciate it.
I just got caught up in it. I was like, oh, I hear the stuff going on downstairs that I have to be part of, and I'm like, I don't want to. I'm so tired. I don't even want to go do that.
Who's Teresia?
Not in the lodge,
Tisaya.
but Tisaya
is the one who
Tisaya
kills
Breeze.
herself after the Isle of Thaned when she realizes that she fucked up. But she is cool. I like Tisaya de Vries.
She's so oopsie about it.
Do you have another? Ooh, do you have another?
No, that was about
after this.
No, that was about it. Unless any last questions or thoughts you guys want to say about the series. Again, we'll do this 2 other short story books at some point, and then the third game, as like the one.
I'm so excited to talk about the game with you guys.
We should watch the one good animated movie, because there is another one that's like really bad, but there's one that's good.
Okay.
She's like,
I'm traumatized.
We should live stream reactions to the first episode of the next season of The Witcher.
Oh my god, we should. Like, you mean the last season? You mean?
Yeah. No, next time a season comes out.
There's more seasons coming out?
There's going to be one more. We
should just see it, and then that'd be great content.
Yeah. Though I don't know, again, this is by far, by like a power of 10, our least popular live stream on the channel as a whole.
Who cares?
They hate The Witcher. It's so funny. But I do want to, at the end, I want to appreciate all the fans who did show up.
Yes.
There will be a renaissance.
Been so kind to us.
There will be a renaissance of Witcher love in the future. And when that happens, we will be a time capsule for all those that very much wish to have this kind of content, but nobody cares anymore. Or it's like really new and they don't have the old stuff. And they'll come upon our videos unless we all get smacked down by...
No, let's be real. What needs to happen is we need to rewrite The Witcher as a romantasy. Geralt needs to become a shadow Witcher daddy. Yennefer of Vengerberg is just like a normal girl who's sassy. And then Ciri is like a chipmunk or something.
Best perspective to tell it from is Yennefer's perspective. Obviously, it's because female perspective. And we start with her when she's ugly. And then we go to her glow up.
You're right.
And then we go to her
It'll be like the Princess Diaries.
Yeah. Oh, this is perfect. I didn't even think of it. Okay. All right. Thank you all for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Bye.